All right, this is the notes for 1.3. This first page is review over some stuff you did in Algebra 1. But if you were given 2 points, you can find the slope of a line by plugging them into this equation. So we label the points x1 and y1 and x2 and y2. And the equation is always m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Slope, we always abbreviate with the letter m. And we always have the y's or the x's because it is rise over run. And the y's is what rise up or drops down. So if it's a negative slope, that rise actually goes down. You always run to the right. So you either go up or down and then to the right. So if you are given the slope and the y-intercept, you would use the slope-intercept form. And you'd plug in slope and the b, and you would have your equation of a line. Now, if you're given the slope and a point, you need to use point-slope form where you plug in that point. The x1 goes after, it's x minus x1, and then the y1 goes after the y, where it's y minus y1, and that equals the slope times that x minus x1. So you have to plug in things where they belong. M is always outside of the parentheses in front of x. Now, if you're given 2 points, you must first find the slope. You need to find m by using this slope formula. And then you use point slope form, and you just pick one of these points to plug in for the x1 and y1. Okay, it doesn't matter if you actually plug in x2 and y2 instead. You would just plug in those places. So if I want to write an equation of a line where I'm given slope and the y-intercept, I'm going to use the slope-intercept form, which was y equals mx plus b. My m is 2/3. My b is a negative 7. So y equals 2/3 x, and it's plus a negative 7, so we actually are just going to write minus 7. So there's my equation of a line. Now if I want to write an equation of a line with the slope of negative 1/5, that goes through 0.65, so this is x1 and y1. I'm going to plug this one into point slope form because I was given a slope and a point. So it's going to be y minus 5 equals negative 1/5 times x minus 6. Y minus y1 equals the slope times x minus x1. Now in number 3 here, I need to find the slope of a line containing these 2 points. So I'm going to use the formula for slope here. So this is going to be my x1 and y1, x2 and y2. That formula for slope was y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I'm going to have 2 minus negative 4 over negative 12 minus 5. Okay, minus a negative, remember you add, that makes plus a positive. So I'm going to have 6 over negative 17. So there's my slope. And then number 4 wants me to write an equation for the line that goes through these 2 points. So I needed that slope, and I'm just going to pick one of those points. And I'm just going to go ahead and pick my x1 and y1. And I plug it in. So I'm going to have y minus a negative 4 equals negative 6 over 17, then x minus 5. Y minus y1 equals slope times x minus x1. Now, minus a negative makes plus a positive, so it's going to be y plus 4 equals negative 6 over 17 times x minus 5.